So, some of you requested me to talk about my immigration experience and my airport experience when I came to US for the first time. So I was like, आप बोले और हम वीडियो ना बनाए ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता. So this is a very basic video, but I feel like everyone's experience is different. So why not talk about it? So first, I would like to talk about my experience when I was leaving India, like India airport, because like when you're going abroad to study as a student, you have mixed feelings, right? You're excited, you're like really excited to go to a new place, like study, make career, make new friends, explore new cultures, so many different things. But then you're also nervous and kind of sad because you're leaving your country and your family behind, and that's exactly what I was feeling. So literally, I'm like a very emotional person in general. So I was like, leaving my parents behind was a hard thing. I shed a drop of tear or two. And then when I was like checking in my baggage, so you can actually like through the window, you can see outside. So I just kept on looking back, and then also like during the check-in, I kind of kept looking at them because it's far. So, but anyway, eventually, you take the flight. So usually like the flight is long, right? Depending upon where you're going in US. So I was going to San Francisco. So mine at that time they didn't have a direct flight. So mine was like one layover, which was in Beijing. So one ish problem that happened was like my connecting flight. So my first flight from India to Delhi to Beijing was a little bit late, and then the layover was for like 2.5 or 3 hours, I think. So it was like really like too much of rush happened because like I kind of had to rush, and then they kind of like look at your passport and everything again. So I was a little bit like slightly panicked, and then I was like running, and then the line when they actually do like your baggage check-in and everything again. So I was like kind of broke the line, and then like requested people that I need to rush. I made it on time, but really, if I feel like if I would have not like gone in between, I probably would have missed my flight. But like somehow I made it to the next flight. So that was the first time I was traveling abroad. So one thing was like I had never been to like such a long flight, but yeah, I mean, not like that it was hard or anything. It was fine. Then so like little bit before when you're landing, they give you a custom form. Which is basically like if you're carrying any cash or like how much cash you're carrying, you kind of need to like disclose that in that custom form. It's a very small form, so that was given to us, and then I kind of filled it. Good that I had a pen. They don't give you a pen. You can ask others for it, but yeah, so it's a good idea to carry a pen always in your bag anyway. So then you land, and then what happens is like you directly go to the immigration line, where like the customs and border protection, like the customs officer are there, similar to your visa thing, but not really similar. So there are windows, and then you stand in the queue. So that queue is actually that line is very long. I think I was there. It took me like about 30 minutes to actually reach the counter. The line for the citizens is slightly, and the PRs are shorter because probably there are less people there. So that gets moves quicker as compared to the immigration line. So then when my turn came, I went there. I gave my I-20 and my passport to them, and then the customs form. I don't remember if they asked for it or not, but I think I gave it anyway. And then I think he asked like what university you're going to study or what you're going to study, and that's it. So one funny thing that always used to happen when I came to US was I didn't have a last name. So my name was just Sharvani. So in the passport it was Sharvani, but in the visa, because you need a last name, so usually what they do is like when it's your last name is not there, so then your name actually comes as FNU as the first name, and your first name as your last name. So then my name in the visa is actually FNU Sharvani, which is like Sharvani became my last name and FNU became my first name. Why? But the real thing is like Sharvani is my first name, right? So they don't understand that like all of a sudden. So they noticed it and then they would ask that, and I had to like explain it, and it became kind of funny because uh, they're like, how can you not have a last name? I'm like, I don't know, ask my parents. But anyway, jokes apart. So it's normal to not have a last name. What's the big deal? But yeah, but so initially, like for a couple of months, like wherever I was going in US and where you need your passport or visa, this thing always happened with me that I had to explain this to everyone. And so I was like, okay, this much extra time is gonna be there. Like I will spend extra time just explaining that to people. So it wasn't like that something too dramatic, but yeah, that was one point that happened. And then yeah, and then you kind of just go out, and then yeah, and then I think he just stamped my passport, and then gave it back to me with my I-20. So one point I would like to mention here is that that stamp that they give, and that officer, he kind of records your entry. So which basically goes in your I-94 form. So form I-94 is basically an arrival and departure record for visitors coming to US, and as an F1 student, F1 visa student, you are also a visitor in the US. So you kind of they just have that record in I-94. Yeah, and that's it. And then I came out and then went to baggage claim, took my baggage, and that's it. And yeah, I went home. So one thing though, they did ask for my address or anything like where I was staying, but it's a very common question that they ask, that like where you're gonna stay. So make sure that you're giving the right address, the address that you gave in your university and also in your form. So make sure that you say the exact same address. Yeah, and that's it. And it was not that bad. So that's it from me today, guys. So feel free to reach out to me on Instagram if you have any questions related to all of this. I'll be around and like to help you out whenever you need. And then I'll see you guys next time with a new video. Till then, keep smiling.